I did a couple of interviews over the years on this topic, man, and everybody I spoke to did say Tupac was deep in New York at Bryant Park. Why do you think when Snoop Dogg tells this story, he only brings up how deep Nas was, but he never brings up how deep Tupac was? I always found that weird, man.
I think wallahi, man. I mean, I swear by God, I think it just, you know, it might be something that he felt a certain way about Pac, and he couldn't say it when Pac was alive, and now that Pac is not here to stand up, he feel like he can do whatever he want. He probably look at it like, who from his camp gonna come up and got a platform to refute what I'm saying? I'm gonna say whatever I want. Pac not here to say call me out. Sugar's in jail, so I'm gonna do what I gotta say. So you know what I mean? It's one of them things. Like, first of all, when your homies die, your homies, you want to try to even take away anything negative from them. You want to show the good side of them, right? You want to be able to say, look, man, Pac did this. You and Pac was a good person, Nas, on that day. Not just, hey, Nas, you was a bigger person because Pac was doing this and Pac did that. Bruh, if this is your homie, like you say, paint him in a good night. We already got too many media and you know what I mean? We got so many people already showing the negative side of him. Also, if you know the good that Pac brought. You know what I mean? And you know the things that he was trying to do. So you got to be able to, show the truth. You know what I mean? Show, he loved Pac. From what I believe, he was going to name his first son after Pac. That's what he said. And I think he changed his mind later. But he loved Pac. You know what I mean? Show the positive stuff. Talk about how Pac stopped you and your wife from getting a divorce. It's enough negative. Literally, like, talk about these things that Pac is the one that sat Snoop down and said, do not do this and this and that, kept his family together. Like, if you're going to speak, don't speak about the positive thing. Don't speak about the negative thing, but let's talk about the positive things that, how Pac was there for you as your brother. You know what I mean? Where he was like, no, keep your family together, stay married, raise your kids as a married. Like, this is the side of Pac you should be wanting to show.
Yeah, man, that's real talk, man. And another thing he said in this interview, man, he took credit for Tupac joining Death Row, and he said that it was because of him that Tupac joined the label. But I always get it confused when it comes to that, man. Was it because of him, or was it because of Tupac's ex-wife, Keisha Morris? It always get froggy when it comes to that, man. I don't know who is behind it.
I keep hearing, Art, man, I'm confused about who brought Pac to Death Row. I just know Pac, I remember him telling us when he was locked up, I think I'm going to Death Row. Keisha was his wife at that particular time. Reach out to Suge. That's all I remember. You know what I mean? When he was like, Keisha going to reach out to Suge. Because Keisha used to make all the calls for him. All the three-way calls for him. You know what I mean? That's all I remember is that particular time. You know what I mean? Is that she the one who reached out to Death Row. If Suge went to Pac, behind his back and said, what do you think? And he said, bring him. Maybe. That could have happened. You know what I mean? That could have happened. We don't know for sure.
And Snoop, he also made a comment in an interview with Drink Champs, and he said that Tupac, he took Nas off I Got My Mind Made Up. Is that true?
That's not true. Once again, Pac never removed Nas from the song I Got My Mind Made Up. And Daz did come out and clarify it, you know what I mean? He never done that, you know what I mean? That's not true. You got to understand also, even when the East Coast, West Coast is going on, Pac was a fan of Nas. Like, there were some people from the East Coast that Pac really was fans of. It just, the unfortunate situation just brought out some hatred, you know what I mean? But Pac used to listen to Nas. At one particular time, he used to listen to Mobb Deep. You know what I mean? Later on, he stopped. Biggie. Pac had a lot of love for Biggie. He used to tell Biggie, come on the stage. He used to tell people this is the next dopest MC. You know what I mean? So if he was already on the Death Row song, I don't think that Pac would have took him off at that particular time, because Pac, I don't think he thought, I'm not mistaken, I don't think he had any issues with Nas at that time. You never heard Pac say anything about Nas until the Machiavelli album. That was like, he did that about a year later, after coming home.